right, everybody. It is another week of the GoFo podcast. And with me, as always, my hetero life mate, Matt Salgado. What is going on, sir?
Hello and good day to you,
Good
senor.
day, sir. How you been, man?
I've been good, just relaxing.
You had a busy day yesterday.
Coming off a high from yesterday, still on a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yesterday was, which was Saturday, in podcast time.
February the 16th.
Had our gender reveal for our next bundle of joy that's showing up in mid-June.
In which, this is where you revealed that Jinder Mahal was your favorite wrestler, right?
The Jinder Mahal, yes, is my favorite wrestler of all time. But yeah, so it turns out we're having a little girl. So kick off the show with that big announcement, having a little girl come June.
Congratulations, man. And you're naming her June, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And she'll be June. And then all the June stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Who's famous named June? June Diane Raphael?
Yeah, there you go. June Diane Raphael. I don't know who else.
That I know. That's all I got. June Carter?
Yeah,
Cash?
there you go. I'm going to look up famous women named June.
Famous Junes. Bonnie and June? But that was a different June.
Yeah, right?
I don't
June
know.
Carter Cash.
Yeah, right?
June Lockhart. And just a bunch of old ladies.
Yeah, June's an old lady name, I guess.
Faux show. June Carter Cash, you don't know who that is?
No, I know who that is.
Okay.
I don't. Lockhart, I don't know who Lockhart
neither
is.
do I was just reading them off.
Yeah.
June Foray, June Allison, June Squibb. And that's it. So, and not listed, June Diane Raphael.
They're not listed.
Fuck them, man. I like
Screw them.
God.
She's awesome.
Well, congratulations, man.
Yeah, excited. We're really excited. Priscilla was thinking it was a boy the entire time. I kept thinking it was a girl.
So did you have a bet? Girl.
No, we didn't have a bet. We should have.
Right?
So I would have won.
Exactly. What names do you guys have picked out for girls?
We're still going through the book of names real quick.
Are they all wrestling names?
No,
Comic
I
book
don't have
names.
any. I haven't. They're going to go through a few more. One of them that's sticking to us at the moment is Noah, and but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to think about it a few more weeks.
Sweet.
Before we settle down and we make a selection. So, and we won't tell anybody until she's here. So
good. That's cool. I'm glad you're doing it that way. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what we did with Ezra. I think only a handful of people knew his name beforehand. So So we're gonna do the same with her. So we're gonna let her be anonymous for a while, and then we'll bust out the hashtags later.
Nice. That's cool, man. Well, other than that, how's your week, man?
Just good. Just hanging out at work. Just keeping busy with that. Time flies by, man. I realized I didn't really do much of anything this week.
God, me
played
either.
A little bit of I played very little video games. I picked back up my book that I was reading, Seven Eves. I had told myself I was going to finish that over the Christmas break, and that did not happen. I actually lost the book for quite a while.
Did you?
And, I had no idea where it was at. And that's the problem. This is one of the few books that I went out and bought. I was reading on my tablet before, but my tablet has been belonging to my son for the last year.
Yeah,
so
you'll never have a tablet again.
Yeah, so it's been pretty hard to read anything off of that, and just the ease and portability of it, and reading a book off my phone is not as fun. So I told myself I'd buy a book, an actual real book, and so I bought it and then misplaced it somewhere. I don't know what. I took it to work one day, and I guess I took it out of my bag and just left it somewhere here in the house, and my son grabbed it, I think, and just put it somewhere, and I ended up just finding it the other day.
Where was it? Behind the toilet.
Behind our second couch.
Really?
So somehow it ended up back there. But he has this tendency to throw his little Nerf basketball everywhere. And so what I think was I probably had it up on the top of the couch, and he probably hit it and knocked it off.
Gotcha.
And so I just so happened to see it the other day, and I could have swore I looked behind that place before. But I was like, well, I'll find it when I find it. It has to turn up somewhere. And then 2 weeks later, I found it. So,
picking back up on it.
And so
that's the one about the destruction of the moon, right?
Yeah, it's about the moon blowing up, so it's pretty cool.
Which, thanks to you now, and you mentioned it on a previous podcast, and you told me to check out another podcast related to it. I am falling down the rabbit hole of all things Mandela Effect.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So now my plan is to check out a couple books on that. And there was, like, I'm falling down the rabbit hole of CERN being involved in creating the Mandela Effect.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So thanks for that, man. Now I'm falling down alternate dimensions and stuff.
You're welcome, and it will open your eyes.
Yeah,
make you a believer.
Yeah. Well, you had a conversation with me earlier in the week via text, and I was like, I'm going to check out this episode of this podcast, and I'm only about halfway through it, because I was driving and I was having to get out of the car and do work while I was listening to it, and I was like, I want to devote all my attention to this. So I'm probably going to restart the episode over and listen to it all while I can like actually hear everything that's being said, because it was interesting, man. So now I have another rabbit hole to fall down.
It's one of those episodes that definitely shakes you,
I
think, a little bit to the core. Because to the point where, I mean, I was listening to it while I was working. And I just found myself...
And someone started playing the piano.
Yeah. I was working in the middle school, and they were having a school dance like right down the hallway. So no piano this time, just a lot of bad rap music,
A lot of bad R&B.
Yeah, and so I found myself like getting to certain parts and of that show and just being like, oh man, I need to I'm gonna have to re-listen to it because I want to sit back down, write down all the ones that I relate to, and kind of do some research on my own as far as when did I start noticing things kind of happen,
right? And
try to pinpoint a time in my life where I realized it. One of them that really off and on, a lot of them I was like, yeah, that's how I remembered it. But one of the more recently ones that I experienced was, I don't know if you got to this point in the show, was they mentioned C-3PO's leg, one of his legs, half of his legs being silver. And I was watching the movie on TV not too long ago, it had to be within a month. And I was watching it. It's in high definition, of course, and I'm watching it and I'm looking and I was like, I never noticed his leg, one of his legs was silver.
I never noticed either.
And so, I was like, okay, that's, all right. I was like, that's just one thing I never noticed in these movies. I'm still picking these things up. And I even remember saying it out loud and even mentioning it to Priscilla, hey, I didn't know, she wouldn't have noticed, but right. I just remember saying it out loud. And then that was one of the Mandela effects, that one of his legs was silver in the first, in A New Hope. So I was like, oh man, this is going insane. This is too much for me now. So yeah, so now that definitely sparked an even more deeper interest on my part that I'm gonna start,
because it's Star Wars related.
Yeah, I'm gonna start writing down I'm gonna start writing down all these things that have happened that I've noticed and see if I can figure out a time in my life where all these, where did the break happen in my life?
You're going to try to find where your alternate reality crossed?
Yeah, where it began. So this is going to be pretty, yeah. And I believe that it's happened differently for other people.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so, and Priscilla, remembers some things that in a way that I don't remember them. She remembers them in the way that, it states the way they are now. And vice versa. There's a few things that are broken for us that, don't quite match up. So it's pretty neat. I want to figure out where did this other part happen. So
right.
It's pretty crazy when you start thinking about it, but it's it's definitely a thing. So
now you got me thinking, because my wife and I have always had this argument over our first date. Because she swore that our first date was when we took my son to go watch fireworks, and I knew that the first time we went out, we went to a party first. And then the fireworks were the next night. And she thought it was the other way around. And we always just chalked it up to just memory. But now I'm wondering, was there a break? Was there a cross where, realities are different or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks.
those kind of...
Now my mind is blown.
No, it's completely broken. So you're going to, run into these things, and it's going to start, totally messing with us. So I think it's pretty cool, though. So
thanks. If I end up going crazy, it's your fault.
I think it's more... well, I think more people are going to... If more people were to become aware and start looking at that, like they just would begin to realize, like, holy crap, yeah, like why are things this way?
So am I going to come into your house at some point and you're going to have like one of those giant like shoestring diagrams like connecting everything on your wall?
Yes, one day, yes.
You're just going to be like Charlie from It's Always Sunny?
That's what I have in my mind when he was in the GIF of him in the post room.
Yep.
And he's trying to figure out who's the main. I forget the guy's name, but yeah. So I think that's one of my favorite images I see of people like connecting the dots as they use that Charlie GIF.
Yep.
Over and over.
That's exactly. I just picture that still of him just standing there with his mind blown and just red shoestring everywhere. I was like, that's what's going to happen. That's what this podcast room is going to be turned into. The studio in my house is now going to be turned into that. So thanks.
Yep. So I'm going to follow up on last week's show. Last week's show, we talked about, if you haven't listened to it, you can go back and listen to it. I told my ghost story.
Yes.
Of the house that I grew up in.
Did you get corrected?
No, I got a text message from my brother.
Uh-huh.
And it was my brother Eric. He lives in Lubbock right now. And he wrote me on Friday because he was listening to the show, and he goes, I want to add to the ghost stuff. He goes, when I was living in Sarah's room, I was like 15 or 16, which I would have been 23 at the time.
Right.
He goes, I was like 15, 16, came out of the room like at 1 or 2 in the morning to go to the bathroom. Kind of the same kind of experience that I had. When I was looking down the hallway from the end by the linen closet, I see the same figure, and I stop and stare. Then I just say to myself, WTF, and WTF, what do I do?
Right.
So he's standing there like freaking out, kind of in the same way that I was. But he had to go into that room. He had to go right by that room.
Oh, shit.
So they go back into his room.
Did he say, excuse me?
That was the room he was staying in at the time. He says, so I ran towards it like full speed, and it turned towards the front door and ran away.
Holy shit.
That's what he experienced. So he had a similar experience, except instead of running away like I did, he ran towards it.
He's braver
also
than
you. Also in the same exact, room he was, same exact place in the room that he was staying in. He also brought up the fact that he goes, also there was that time where me, my dad, and my other brother, Jeremy, and Eric were all sitting in the living room watching TV, and we were just hanging out and chilling out there, and there was a shoe that was on the floor, and it was laying on the side. The shoe was laying on its side, and there was another shoe next to it. The shoes are just sitting there, and as we're watching this show, the shoe that was laying on its side just popped up in the air and landed.
What?
Like it was to match the other shoe.
What the hell?
And so, yeah, like it happened, and my dad was like, it was just the boys. My mom and Sarah weren't there, my sister, and it was just us. And the boys were probably like 8 or 9, I feel like. They were really young. And my dad just goes, did you guys all see that? And we all just kind of looked at each other like, yeah, what was that?
Holy crap.
Something picked the shoe up and made it stand back up, like, this is how it's supposed to be. And it was one of my brother's shoes. It was totally trippy, like the way that it did it. But yeah, that was one thing that happened that I didn't mention. But that's like another little experience. And yeah, so like that flipping over, like that was another cool thing that happened back when I was living in that house. So yeah,
let's go do a fear episode in that house.
I'm sure. If I was to talk to my dad, that he would probably have a few more stories, other than what we experienced. But yeah, so that on top of that it was all over the house.
You should talk to him and record a mini episode.
Yeah,
and so just get him to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to him before they're getting ready to go to Florida for a little mini vacation. So maybe I can get him to talk to him for a little bit before, maybe when he comes right back after.
The Salgado ghost stories.
Yeah, Salgado ghost stories.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was another little thing. Yeah, so he had the first initial experience, and then me and my brothers had like experience after the fact. But it was it'd be cool to see. And I never heard anything from like my mom, if my mom had ever seen anything. But I feel like it was more so centered around, I guess, the guys in the family. So
which would make sense with your theory that she was looking for her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to talk to your dad, and you need to record and get him. Get his like take on what had happened and get him telling those stories. That would be awesome.
It's totally totally trippy. Like everything that's that we've all single-handedly experienced. one off. And my brother never told me that story. I didn't know my brother had that experience. I don't know if you've ever told anybody, because for the most part, I hadn't told anybody in my family except for my dad.
Right.
What went on. So it was pretty cool to like I had no idea. So it was kind of cool. Like he had almost the same exact like running into her. So he legit ran at her. So
that's crazy.
That's insane too. Yeah. So pretty neat stuff.
I just picture like Ghostbusters whenever the old lady ghost like turns and screams at him.
Oh yeah, she did not
librarian.
scream at us. Yeah, that is freaky. That is really
That'd been great.
scary.
Get covered in ectoplasm.
Ugh.
It's a class 4 floating apparition.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Okay, Egon.
Yeah, shut up. Egon's my favorite. Rest in peace, Egon. I even have an Egon Spengler nameplate right here on my desk too.
Yeah, you do.
For my costume, but I put my name on it instead. But still, I kept the Egon one.
Good stuff.
Man, that's super cool. They announced a bunch of new Ghostbusters Funkos this week too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're all original. There's one of Peter Venkman covered in marshmallow, and then one of two of the guys fighting a ghost, and there's Ghostbusters Firehouse Funko Pop. So it's the actual Firehouse. They announced a bunch. I guess they had like a big convention this week, and one of the ones that was announced was an Office set.
Oh, great.
Yeah, for the first time in the line, they're doing Office Funko, so I'm going to spend about $100 buying every one of those.
You're going to spend a lot more than that, buddy.
They're about $10 each, and there's 9 of them, so I'm averaging. There was Michael, Dwight, Daryl, Pam, Kevin with his pot of chili, and 2 gyms. They had a regular Jim with that kind of look, like where he looks at the camera and gives him that look and the shrug. They had that Jim, and then they had the Halloween Jim where he just has book written on his face, so he was Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
But they have Kevin. It's not the spilled pot of chili, which I wish there was an alternate or a chase one with a spilled, but it's him carrying the pot of chili.
Oh, that's great. That's still good.
So that is definitely, and the Ghostbusters ones look so good. I know I probably shouldn't, but I will most likely spend money on those. And then I sent you a link earlier. There's DC Luchador figures coming out.
Yes. Yeah.
And those all look amazing. That Batman one is super cool. The only one I didn't really like was the Bane one, because they had him as like a robot. Like, isn't he a luchador already? That should have been the easy one.
Right? He should have just been a direct copy over. But
or just make him over the top. Add some, like, Day of the Dead art or something on him just to make it a little more over the top. But they made him a robot, which I thought was weird. But the others, like the Batman one and the Superman one, I thought was really cool, because Superman has got what looks like a giant title around his waist, and it's got an S in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It is super cool. And was the other one, was that Catwoman or Batgirl that...
I think it was Batgirl, but it could be mistaken.
It looked really cool. And the Wonder Woman one was really great, too.
Yeah.
So I will try to find every one of those, because those were dope.
I'll share a picture I really want those. Those are so
on our
cool.
Instagram.
Those were... Yeah, I think, so there's Wonder Woman, but Bane does come with or is that Bane or Deadshot? I think that's Deadshot. Deadshot comes with a folding chair, which I think is great.
Was really cool.
Yeah, and the Batman one just looks so good, and so does the Wonder Woman. They all look great. The World of Lucha Libre. Yeah.
Holy shit! The Batman one is going for $30 on Entertainment Earth already.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I need those. I need those in my life. Those are so awesome.
I wonder how big are they? Are they 7-inch figures? I think.
9-inch.
Holy shit!
DC Prime. It's part of the new DC Prime. It's a premium grade 9-inch action figure line. Yeah.
I like him.
So
that Batman one definitely I need. I love how beefed up. He's like huge, like Guacamole kind of.
Yeah, it looks totally cool. So
I'm saving a picture of this. I'm going to share it on our Instagram because it
looks like they're going to be. Cool. They're up for August release. August release. The Luchador figures. Okay, yeah, so August release.
Yeah, you and I will end up buying every one of those, I'm sure. I'll order them all as a case if I have to get those instead of chasing them around, because those are so damn cool. I want to display those.
Yeah, those are really neat, yeah.
Oh, the Superman one actually has a cape.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was wrong on this. I'm mixing it up. There's in the same article, they announced a new DC Prime action figure line. Oh. Those are the 9-inch ones. The Luchador ones are 7-inch. Okay. So, yeah, they're a little bit smaller.
And it shows, is it the Prime ones that are August release, or is it the Luchas that are
The Prime ones are, the Luchadors are August release, the Prime ones are November release.
Oh my god, there's a Funko Pop of Clayface from Batman the Animated Series that I never knew existed that I need to have. Because Clayface was dope. I don't know why. He was a terrible character, but I loved it so much.
He could have been so much more in the cartoon, but he's a really cool character in general.
The animated series was so cool. I loved the animated series. That's my favorite Batman. Kevin Conroy is the best Batman there has ever been. Easily,
yes.
When I hear Batman and someone talks about Batman, that voice in my head is always Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. I hope somebody, going back to these luchador figures, like, makes them on, like, the WWE game.
Oh, no shit.
Those would be really cool to see.
We need that, like,
made in,
now.
Yeah. You can kind of do it.
You should go start looking for it.
That Deathstroke one should. I said Deathshot. Deathstroke. Deathstroke.
Yeah.
That Deathstroke one looks really easy to make.
Oh, I'm sure.
Definitely do
the
that
Batman one shouldn't be too bad either.
Yeah, they got the Batman mask.
You just got to make them really unproportionate.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
So we had a bunch of movie trailers come out this week.
Yeah, we quite a few. Got a nice little handful of them.
So Disney, I get what they're doing. So last week we had the trailer for Aladdin. And they got a lot of backlash over Will Smith as the Blue Genie. So I feel like what they did this week to try to offset that backlash is they released the first teaser for Frozen 2.
Well, they rushed that teaser out.
Yeah, I feel like that was done intentionally to try to take attention away from the Will Smith genie, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, easily, yeah. I think they were like, you know what, we got to make some people happy. Let's put out some Frozen 2 finished. Well, not even, it doesn't even look finished, but some quick Frozen 2 grabs we got.
Yeah.
So.
It looks cool, though.
Yeah, it looks good. Like the ground, the way it looked, like the way it rendered looked really good, but it felt like Elsa still needed quite a bit of work done.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's slated for a release this November, right?
Yeah. So it's still quite a ways away, like 7 months away.
Yeah, so they got some time to hit finishing touches on it.
Yeah. And then obviously it was all set to music. There was, I think, only a few like grunts from Elsa, like trying to like hit up the wave or do something. But yeah, so she's trying to be like Iceman on the ocean, I guess.
So they're theorizing that they're going to find other people who have the same powers as Elsa or similar powers, because if you notice, there's a lot of, it looks like it's set in autumn. There's a lot of fall leaves and wind. So, and there's on the poster, there's a bunch of emblems on the poster, and there's 4 main emblems, and it looks like they're the 4 seasons. So they're thinking that they're going to find someone with what they're considering autumn powers instead of winter powers. So they're going to be wind powers in this one. And that you would find someone with like fire for heat for summer and someone with water for like the rainy spring. And that would be like the 4 different characters. And someone's like, they were even theorizing online that you're going to end up getting like some sort of team up in the future with like all the people that they come across in these movies. Because there's obviously 2 new characters that are in the trailer that they don't ever, I mean, like you said, there's no lines, there's no voiceover at all. So they don't address who these 2 new characters are. But I don't give a shit. More Frozen is good. And then
you are definitely a Frozen fan.
I have a daughter, so yes. Yeah. And then there's another Captain Marvel TV spot, which I have not watched and I refuse to watch. We're so close to the movie coming out, I'm not watching anything else that comes out about this movie. I get to the spot with these Marvel movies where I just stop. And I'm done. Like, I'm not going to add any more to it. I think with Infinity War, I only watched the initial trailer, and I tried not to watch anything else because I wanted to go into it unspoiled. Yeah,
and this one more or less is just an introduction to, like, for the casual audience, I think. So, like, they know, like, oh, she's the scrolls and all of this, you know?
Right.
Like, they're just giving us...
Kind of set up who the big bad is.
Yeah. So just more or less like, you know, setting her up for people who watched the first Infinity Wars and stayed to the very end and saw the logo but had no idea who the logo was for.
Right.
You know, like it's more or less, I just think for
that's why it's a TV spot, because they're trying to bring in the people who aren't on the radar already.
Exactly, and that's what that is. I mean, most of the hardcore fans already know. Not even hardcore fans, just the people that have been following the movies,
the
like
MCU,
every single movie. Yeah, the entire MCU. Like they already know. They're gonna know who and what to expect. So I think this is more so for like, and it's the TV spot. So we're literally 2 weeks away from this movie coming out. So
there was a Nintendo Direct this week, and they showed more gameplay of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is coming out exclusively on Switch. And they showed a lot of the powers and stuff and how one of the main characters is going to be Captain Marvel's. And it looked really damn cool. I cannot wait for that game. Those are some of my favorite Marvel games.
Yeah, it should be really neat. So
I am going to play the hell out of that. There was also a article that came out this week that showed that Tom Holland may have actually spoiled Endgame in the press release, like the press circuit for Infinity War. So last April he did an interview, and no one really picked up on this until now. So he did this interview with Benedict Cumberbatch. And so they were both sitting down, and the reporter had asked them which one of them was the one that screwed up the most lines in their movies. And Benedict Cumberbatch said, "Oh, it's me, easily. I'm the one who flubbed the most lines." And Tom Holland is trying to, like, make him look good, I guess. He's trying to stick up for him. And he's like, "Oh, no, it's okay that you mess up the most lines because you have the hardest lines in the movie. You're the one who has to talk the most about the quantum realm." They never discussed quantum realm in the last movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they filmed those movies back to back. So they wonder if this was a slip and he was referring to Endgame and not Infinity War.
Yeah.
When he said that. Because he's the one who notoriously leaks the most shit. Him and Mark Ruffalo.
There was a post on Instagram or like a fake link to a news story, and it said like Tom Holland leaks, Avenger Endgame, spoiler or whatever. And so like somebody had shared it and tagged Tom Holland in it, and then and it wasn't even like somebody that he knew, it was just like a random tag. And he ended up writing on the post like, "Oh my god, I thought this was real for a second." He's like, "What did I do now?"
That's funny.
So even he is aware of his own screw up.
That's funny. Last week, I don't know if we talked about it. Did we talk about the theory of everybody still being alive?
Yes.
Last week?
Yeah, we did.
I thought we did, which I still kind of dig that theory as a way to kind of write everybody off.
I think that theory is gaining more and more ground among other outlets, like people that report on this. So
in our show notes you have Child's Play on here, which is the remake.
Yeah, and then actually
I have not seen this trailer.
It actually came out a couple of weeks ago, and we failed to mention, I think it came out during the Super Bowl or Super Bowl game. And so apparently this is more the story's different. It's a completely new reboot, and instead of being a doll that gets inhabited by the soul of a murderer, it's more of just like an evil AI.
Huh.
Yeah. And there's like even scenes in it too where like in the trailer itself, like there's people inside like I think like a store, kind of like a big box store. And I guess Chucky's probably going there and like turning on other buddy. What's the name of the doll?
I don't know. It's Chucky, right? Or no?
Yeah, well, his name is Chucky, but it's the name is like Buddy or whatever, and Good Guy Doll or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think he's going in there and turning on more like evil Good Guy dolls, basically like switching them over to like evil AI. Aubrey Plaza's the mom, so it's very interesting to see her play the mom to like a teenager,
right?
Well, not a teenager, but like a
young kid.
Like probably like 8 or 9. So it's
but I'll watch anything Aubrey Plaza's in. So
yeah. So I'm sure if she's in it, it should be pretty good. She hasn't done anything really bad, so it looks really interesting. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like the Child Plays movies, but I'm kind of interested in seeing where it's gonna go,
right? With
like how they're gonna make it work, because it's definitely like, is this gonna be like sacrilegious to like the Child Play loyalists?
Exactly.
Like, are there fans that hardcore where they're going to be upset like that?
Absolutely. I know there is.
It's not a soul.
I'm not a big fan, but I know for a fact there is.
Yeah, so I just want to see the outcry of angry Child's Play loyalists.
Yes.
It's like, you guys have like 18 movies of Child's Play. Like,
whatever gives Jennifer Tilly work. As long as we find a way to get a Bride of Chucky so we can get her something to do.
She's not even in the movie.
No, there's sequels, man. So. There's opportunity for sequels. But we just got to bring her back as her, because she's like 50 and she's still absolutely hot.
My son's banging on the door to come into the room. What is it, dude?
Just throw some cereal underneath the door. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he's mad.
And then there's a new Detective Pokemon teaser, which looks great.
Yeah, it looks really fun. It has a little bit more story points into it. And yeah, just a little bit more Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu.
Yep.
So it looks pretty cool.
And then you also put on here the Shaft trailer, which
Yes.
looks good. I loved.
Yeah.
It was campy and as stupid as it kind of was. I loved the early 2000s Shaft movie.
Yeah, the one with Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale was in that, wasn't he?
He's the bad guy.
Yep,
He's
that's right.
He's the racist psycho.
Yep.
So
You're right. But it was a good movie. I liked it, and I like this one. Looks like it's more of a comedy, and I think I like that a lot.
it's more of it feels more of an action comedy,
Like a buddy cop kind of movie.
Yeah, because it's like Grandpa Shaft's nephew. Well, it's Uncle Shaft.
Yeah,
as the main one.
and then you got Samuel L. Jackson and his son Junior.
Yeah. So it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks funny. If you guys haven't seen that trailer, go out and watch it because it looks.
And apparently,
great.
I get the feeling that he didn't know he had a son.
I kind of get that too, or
Right?
he hasn't
So-
seen his son in a long time. Because when the kid turns around, he recognizes him and he goes Junior. So I feel like he just hasn't seen him for a while.
Yeah. So and then he even
Stop
makes
editing stuff. I see you editing this.
I moved the line down, and
It was bugging
that,
you, wasn't it?
Yeah. The anal in me. And so yeah, it looks good. There's like even a line in there where I guess like his mom, like Junior's mom, shows up and he's talking about how like she's angry. But I like that he was like, I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, that's whenever that woman was trying to hit him with a bat. In the trailer, it wasn't his mom; it was another woman, and she was trying to hit him with a bat. And he's like, punch her. And he's like, I'm not going to punch a woman. He's like, I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker. I'll hit her.
Yeah.
Which is funny. And Pet Sematary, I've watched the original trailer for this. I don't know if this is a new one or not, but I saw one a while back. And
yeah, this is a new
John
one,
Lithgow looks great in this movie.
Yeah.
He's the crazy neighbor, right?
I think so. He has a lot of like interaction in this trailer with the new guy, and I can't remember his name, but he's John Connor in the last.
Was it Joel Egerton? Is that who it is?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm looking it up.
I believe it is
Jason Clarke.
No, not him. Jason Clarke.
Yeah.
Jason Clarke's the guy that looks like Joel Egerton.
Yeah, you're right. No, it's Jason Clarke, and he was in Zero Dark 30, wasn't he?
I believe he was. He was also in Planet of the Apes.
Yep, that's right.
Second and third one. So
this looks all right. I really liked the original. The original is one of my favorite horror movies,
really
or suspense
spooky.
movies, whatever you want to call it as.
Yeah. It looks really spooky, so I'm highly interested in seeing where it goes.
Yeah, my wife will not watch this movie, so if you want to go to the theaters, I need someone to go with.
Yeah. You want me to hold your hand?
Yeah, please. I just need someone to cuddle with in case it gets scary.
Oh, it'll get scary.
But I dig John Lithgow in this movie, like because he's playing. What's his name? Is it Carl or something?
Yeah.
I can't remember. No, it's Judd. Because I remember the kid from the original movies. Like first I played with mommy, then I played with Judd. Now I want to play with you.
Yeah.
That's when he's on the phone talking to his dad. Yeah. So I think John Lithgow as Judd is like great casting. There's just something about him being the weird old neighbor that is going to work great.
Yeah.
God, and just this still shot of the mangy ass cat sitting in the middle of the road, just staring into your eyes, scares the shit out of me.
Watch the trailer.
I haven't seen the new one. I've seen the original or the first one that they released. So I'll watch the new one.
Watch the one I linked here, and you're gonna get the heebie-jeebies.
Yes. And then you've got going to your comic book news because I just saw this just before we started, so I didn't get to look into this yet.
Reported by Entertainment Weekly of all places,
right?
The Marvel announced a new Avengers team, the Savage Avengers, and the members are including Wolverine, Punisher, Elektra, Venom, Brother Voodoo, and reintroducing back into the Marvel comic universe Conan the Barbarian.
Nice.
So Marvel reacquired the license to Conan the Barbarian. They actually just released, I think, Savage Sword 1 not too long ago, I think within the past couple weeks. So he's already got his first Marvel series back out, and it's been a long time since he's been part of the Marvel Comics universe.
Yeah, it's been a while. So
and so I don't know which Earth we're on or which Marvel universe we're a part of right now, but so the Savage Avengers team definitely going to be really fun one to check out. I think we got a couple within the next couple of months. They're going to be releasing the first issue. So up until the addition to Up until the edition of Brother Voodoo, alternate title names were called Stabby Avengers.
God.
So yeah, and this is a little bit different take on Venom as well. It's to be a little bit of a different Venom than what we're used to.
In the Entertainment Weekly, goddamn, in the article it says if it weren't for Elektra, Duggan notes that the series would also have been called the Sausage Avengers.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would have liked to see a little bit more female members added to this.
Who would you add though?
You could add Black Widow to this team. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Or even if we're changing it up a bit, you can even add Gwenpool or somebody else. But yeah.
I'm trying to think someone a little darker, like.
Yeah, because this does seem pretty dark. So.
Yeah, and Elektra fits the bill. I get that. I just don't know who else would be that like savage kind of dark. Like, I mean X-23, but that's too on the nose. I think. I don't know who else. Maybe even a Phoenix or something. I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, but...
Now it's going to bother me. Now I want to know who else would work good.
Okay, to make your own Dream Team Avengers. Next week, we should make our own Dream Team Avengers.
You want to do that? How many people?
Yeah, let's do that. This one has, 6 people in? 1, 2, 3,
Okay, do we want to do our own Dream Team Avengers, or do we want to do an Avengers draft?
You know what? Let's do an Avengers draft. That'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that sounds like fun.
Let's put it 2 weeks out, because next week we've got our Power Rangers episode.
We'll pull a team of, 50 whatever, and we can choose from.
Cool.
That'd be fun. And next week, you're right, is our Power Rangers show.
Hell yeah, the 1995 movie.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
We should just watch both of them. The 1995 one and the current one. Wasn't there a third? Wasn't there a movie in between them? There was 2 early Power Rangers movies, right?
There was 2 that went to data, and I think there was a third that was for TV.
Was there?
And it didn't have any of the OG members in it. There was no Tommy Oliver or any of the original members. So Tommy Oliver wasn't even an original member. I know I just punched myself in the face with that reference.
So there was the 2017 Power Rangers. There's Power Rangers 2 currently in development, and then there's just TV series
still going into development.
Yeah, or it's maybe in production. Production status, production announced. So that's
I didn't even know they were still going to do it. I thought that was wiped clean.
Doesn't look like it so far.
Yeah. It
just looks like it was announced, but there's nothing been moving forward on it. Okay. It just says that actor Carlio Scoser, I can't even pronounce his last name, I'm not going to try, says someone has showed interest in playing the Green Ranger.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we got that teaser at the end, so.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't even see the 1995 movie listed on IMDb, which is crazy.
It is. I see it here, but yeah.
Huh. Because I was trying to find out. I knew that because there was 2 older ones that went to theaters, right?
Yeah. Power Rangers, the movie, and then Power Rangers Turbo.
That's the one.
Or it's called Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that has a different title scheme now that I think about it.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, is the 1995 one. That's the one that we're watching with the White Ranger.
Yep.
Ugh, this is going to be awful.
Saber-tooth Tiger.
This is going to be god-awful.
It is going to be fantastic.
Fan-effing-tastic.
Yeah.
I am... Goddamn you, Matt.
It's going to be great. You're going to have fun. Don't worry.
I probably am. No, you're right. I am.
I'm trying to see where we can watch it. I'll figure that out.
Oh, no. We'll find it out. This has a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb with a 40% Metacritic score.
I'm not worried about that.
That just tells me how good this is going to be. The Turbo one, is that the one that you were referring to? Does it have? It has Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Oh god.
No. Turbo was in theaters.
Yeah, but, that's the one I'm talking about as the sequel, I guess, or the follow up.
Yeah, it was a follow up, but it was.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah. I
don't remember that one at all.
You don't?
No.
It's just basically a 2-hour version of the TV show.
I thought I've seen it, but I don't remember it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe we need to watch that too.
Would not be opposed to it.
I've
seen it.
What are your thoughts on the 2017 Power Rangers movie?
I liked it. I thought it was a good take. I mean, it was very much Chronicle, but I wish it would have been a little bit different. But
So the scores on that,
I wasn't totally upset with it.
what did I say was the score for the original Power Rangers? Was it a 5.8? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
So this one got
5.2.
5.2
on IMDb, yeah.
So IMDb got a 6.0 on the new Power Rangers movie and a 44% on Metacritic. So it's along the same lines as the original.
Metacritic was 40% on the original.
Yeah, so it was only 4 points higher.
Yeah.
So I remember it just being kind of stale. Like, it was okay. It was passable, I think, is kind of the way I felt about it.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Oh, it looks like we can watch it on... I'll give you my Hulu login so you can watch it on Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Don't say that out loud. Now you're going to jail. That's illegal.
I mean, I will...
Buy your own Hulu, you piece of shit. That's what you meant.
Come over and watch Hulu with me. Yay!
I got Hulu anyway, I think.
Oh, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll text you. It's the one thing I think I don't have.
So yeah, we should be okay.
Cool, man. Well, we've got Power Rangers next week.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on an Avengers draft, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll set parameters between now and the time we do this as to how many Avengers we'll have, and we'll get a pool of which Avengers we can get, and we'll have our own Avengers draft.
Oh, I like it.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm really excited.
I'm going with Howard the Duck #1.
I'm sure you will.
I will. And not the comic book Howard the Duck. I want the movie Howard the Duck, the smartass that was banging Leah Thompson.
That just drinks?
Yeah.
You want the one from the 80s movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's the one. I mean, Leah Thompson. If he was able to score Leah Thompson, then he's probably the best Avenger out there. He's the most powerful Avenger ever.
Horn Dog, Howard the Avenger. Gotcha.
Exactly. Anything else from you, sir?
Not much. I mean...
you know what? So you had more notes on there. I strayed away from that.
You didn't. So yeah, the new Batman has a slated release for 2021 in June. It's set up to be more of a detective movie, more along like the lines of the Arkham games, which should be a lot of fun. There's no main villains announced, but there is an idea to introduce the Rogues Gallery with with a lot of villains like being played by different actors. And Josh Gad, actually of Frozen 2 fame, he is hyping himself up to be even just for a little bit to be the Penguin.
Oh my God!
He wants to be the Penguin. He's putting it on his Twitter that he wants to be the guy. And him and Matt Reeves actually know each other, so it just might happen.
That might happen, actually, then.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ideas of who can be the villain in this movie. It's going to be more set like a Batman's early career. Not so much first year, but, somewhere along there.
I think year one would be good, too. I know they probably won't, but year one would be great.
Yeah, because it kind of touched on it a little bit with the first Batman reboot, but they didn't go it was more mob-based, and that was year one was all about.
Yeah.
And... it'd be really cool to see. But the idea, too, is I think they're trying to make these more of a standalone film than more of the DCU.
Right.
Because it's just what can they do now with, it's really just Aquaman and Wonder Woman that's going to go forward. And we'll see what's going to happen with the rest of the team.
Right.
So, yeah. And I got in here, I put in here, Zombies 2 was announced for Disney.
I want to see, you have Chucky. Okay, so Zombies 2 got announced, but I know what you glanced over. You know what you missed?
Because I want to leave that for last. I want to leave that for last because I want to get your thoughts on it.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. There's a trailer you missed, sir.
I did. Which one did I miss?
Descendants 3. You dick.
Oh no, I did. I did see that trailer.
So you're gonna hype up Zombies, but we're not gonna talk Descendants. Matt and I have this little Disney rivalry going on.
I'm sorry, I didn't put it in. Well, you didn't do show notes this week, so
yeah, I guess I should have, huh? So I want to hear this Chuck E. Cheese fiasco that you have on here.
So have you not heard about this?
I have not at all.
There's a conspiracy theory brought out, and it's mainly brought out by Shane Dawson on YouTube, that Chuck E. Cheese reuses discarded pizza slices from previous pizzas to include on their own pizzas, like on the new pizzas that people order. So people have gone through and they've ordered pizzas at Chuck E. Cheese and taken pictures of them, and the slices and pepperonis are misaligned, like they don't match up.
Huh.
So Shane Dawson had this video, and he goes through and so they actually go to a Chuck E. Cheese and they order two pepperoni pizzas, and when the pizza comes out, the slices are all misaligned. Some of them don't match up. The pepperonis don't match up, and they're just dumbfounded. And so there's this big thing online now where people are taking pictures of their pizzas at Chuck E. Cheese to see, if this conspiracy is holding up. Chuck E. Cheese has denied it, of course. They're
Yeah,
saying,
it's funny that they've even
is,
commented on this.
Yeah, that they've, everything is made fresh, with,
of course
every pizza's a new pizza. We don't reuse pizzas.
So was this at multiple Chuck E. Cheese's?
Yeah, this is at multiple different ones. So, this huge thing that is going on. And so I just think it's really funny. My big thing was like, hey, what's Chuck E. Cheese's logo? It's like a mouse. It's like a giant rat. You know? Are we really not that surprised that a giant rat's reusing pizza slices?
No shit, right?
so yeah, that's just one thing. Have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese? We live in an area where we don't have one.
I think I've been to one once.
Yeah, me too. So I was never, and then when I went, I was a lot older. So as a kid,
that
I
was me
enjoy
too.
It. So
we have Peter Piper.
We have Peter Piper Pizza, which is a totally different chain here. So we don't have to worry about giant rats.
You just don't have big animatronic rats that they used to have back in the 80s or 90s.
I don't even know what their logo is.
I don't think they had that. Peter Piper, I don't think they even have a logo. It's just their name.
Yeah.
Huh, so I wasn't aware of this. I'm going to have to watch this now.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have an animal logo.
Great, Matt. Thanks. Another rabbit hole for me to fall down.
Well, they have a Rocky... He's like a dinosaur, kind of.
Oh, for Peter Piper? It's like a purple kind of green like spotted.
Purple, kind of like a rip-off Barney a little bit, yeah. So that's probably why they don't use them. So yeah, go into the rabbit hole of that. Look into the Mandela effect. Look into Chuck E. Cheese reusing pizza slices. You got a fun week ahead of you.
Someone tweeted and said, "LOL, I don't know." Or it says, "I know Shane Dawson's new video said Chuck E. Cheese reuses a pizza. People keep asking if we do, and no, we don't reuse that shit. If it doesn't go to a customer, either the employee eats it or our managers throw it away. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk."
So yeah, it's getting crazy. So
that's interesting. We need to find Chuck E. Cheese employees and interview them, like on the spot, get in their face with a microphone and a camera.
Get some
do you reuse pizza
employees.
Let's go undercover boss on this shit and see if we can find it out. Let's one of us move to a completely different town and get a job undercover as a Chuck E. Cheese employee.
Yeah, I don't even know if
Nerdy Somethings can offset. They'll pay for the cost.
Yeah, there
Albuquerque or Las Cruces, I think.
The nearest Chuck E.
I'm dying.
I'm just typing in. Jeremy's dying while I'm looking for the nearest Chuck E. Cheese to me.
Yeah, we're doing a remote this week because I'm dying.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. I don't even think there's any in New Mexico.
I think there's two, or at least.
Oh, you're right.
There's one in either Albuquerque or there's three in Albuquerque, two in Albuquerque, one in Las Cruces.
And one I'm bringing up. Yeah,
El
there's
Paso,
a few in
which is
Albuquerque.
on the border.
There's a few in Albuquerque.
Yep. So we have places to go. We're gonna get this shit figured out.
Let's go right now.
So we're gonna unravel the Mandela effect on our own.
I have tomorrow off. Let's just go do this now.
I have to work tomorrow. Damn it. All right, man. Well, that's a wrap. Let's leave it on that. Let's let everybody kind of ponder whether or not Chuck E. Cheese. Maybe that's in an alternate universe they do, but in this universe they don't.
Yeah.
So that might be what happens. That or the universes are colliding on the pizza, so that way you get half a pizza from one universe and half a pizza from this universe, and that's why they're misaligned.
It's a slice from.
We've solved it. We figured it out.
Yeah.
One of them has Alfredo sauce, and one of them has tomato sauce. So
marinara. Oh, yeah. Oof.
Right. Hey, Alfredo sauce on a pizza is actually pretty good.
I'm gonna go order pizza right now.
Get a cheese with Alfredo and pepperoni, and it's the shit. All right, man. Well, make sure you guys follow us on all our social medias at GoFo Podcast. You can find Matt on Twitter and Instagram at Mateo83. You can find me on both at JVader82. Make sure to tell Matt congratulations that he's having a girl and send him the wildest girl names that you can think of. Like
do it.
Champagne, Ruth. I mean, Ruth? I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. But whatever.
Ruth is wild.
Right?
I know a lot of wild Ruths. So
send him the best.
Yeah, you know what?
The best female name gets we'll get you a Nerdy Somethings t-shirt.
Yeah. Send it to me and I'll read them on next week's show.
There
do
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for following us. Until next time. Next time is our Power Rangers episode. So make sure if you guys want to follow along, watch the 1995 Power Rangers movie in preparation for next week's episode. So that way you can suffer in silence with us.
Yeah. Set up a free Hulu account for I think it's 2 free weeks. I think.
Yeah.
So
watch it and then just cancel it.
Yeah. There you go.
Life hacks, man. So until next time, Matt.
Laters, geeks. The Geek Out Freak Out podcast is produced and edited by Matt Salgado and Jeremy Holman. Special thanks to Rock My Bit for the theme song.